Hey everybody, this is Josie with Cedar Creek Homestead. Welcome back, and today I'm out here with the ducks and the chickens, the babies, and I was going to show you an update on them. I got to get their pans clean. They are messy, especially the ducks, and I'll get those pans that's underneath their pen clean where the droppings fall through and the food that they didn't eat but raked it through. I'll get all of that dumped, and I'm having to feed their fill their feeders and their waterers especially about twice a day, and it won't be too long and they'll be ready to go out into a pen that Howie had built for the outside that kind of gets them acclimated to the outside temperatures where they don't have to be in here, because in just a few weeks Blade's quail will be here. And then later on I'm going to set some turkeys in the incubator, and we'll try to bring that to you too. The turkeys haven't done real well with laying eggs. I probably got 15 or so, and they haven't laid any eggs for the last few days, so I don't know if they're finished for the season, but we're going to go ahead and set what we've got, because they're getting older, and the longer you go the less chances you're going to have that they're going to hatch. So I got to get those in the incubator, and then after a few days we'll set some chicken eggs in there too. Blade's wanting to sell some baby chickens, and we'll just see what all kind of things that we can get into. We've had to put these covers, I've got them pulled back now. I've got a solid wood cover here, and then we have one with wire here where their heat lamp is at, and then we have another solid one that I've moved from right here just so I can get access to the feeders and the waterers down in there. And the little chickens and the ducks are growing. They have really taken off, and you can see the little ducks in there and the chickens too, and they're just happy little campers. But I've got to get busy and get these trays cleaned out, and we've got to get some more feed and water to them. I'm having to change their waterers out, these little waterers, twice a day, and we're going to get it going for them. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is move out these nasty trays and get those dumped. I've got 3 of them, and get this nasty litter and this old food dumped out of there so we can give them a little bit cleaner housing. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this or not, but baby ducks and chickens, they're so cute. But you have those in your garage or anywhere else keeping warm while they're brooding, while they're growing out, they stink. And so it's about time to get these pans cleaned and get their fresh water and their feed in there. And then I'll give you one last look before we move on to our next project. Okay, well, I've got their waterers filled, and I've put this one, I've already put the first one in. Got this second one in here for them to have plenty of feed and water. And I'm usually having to change out not their food but their water about twice a day. And you can see that I've got the pans cleaned, and I hope you can see that. And they're back under there for the next time I have to clean up their mess. But I'm having to keep these tops on here now because the baby chickens are flying out. While I was cleaning their pan, I come back in, and sure enough, there was 2 on the edge, and one of them got out, and I had to chicken wrangle. But they're back in, and we'll get these covers on here, and these little babies will be nice and tucked in for this cooler weather that we're having. And this heat lamp right here is doing really well for them. You know, we start out closer so they can get to it, and then we bring it up further and further and it's plenty for them now. They're not staying underneath it. They're not too hot. You know, if they're too hot, they'll stay far away. And they're really moving around and eating their food and water, and they're doing really good. We've got this wired up so that it's safe. It's not touching anything what might cause a fire. If it did fall, it would fall on this wire, and it wouldn't touch any wood or anything. But Howie set up a system that we were able to hang it and keep it safe. So anyway, there's all we have on the little baby chickens, and we'll go see some other things now. We may have a little short visit because it is raining outside, and I may just have to do those chores, and then we'll go inside and I'll change aprons, and we'll fix that meal I was talking about, showing you a cheap way of using something that maybe you haven't thought of. You know, we're always eager to do the homemade mixes, and that's a good thing, that's an important thing, but not everybody has that. And if you have these things on hand, you can make a quick meal, or you can pass it on to somebody else and help them in their need. Okay, let's go. Well guys, while I'm still out here in the shop, I thought I'd show you a few of the things that I still have left to plant. This is just some of the stuff. I have seeds going in the house, little plants, and we have some other bigger things, and I have some things that I'm still waiting for them to ship in. I've got some, I have an apple tree, an Arkansas black apple that I needed to replace one that had died. I started to say passed away, but died. And I've got some raspberries and some blackberries on their way to me from Stark Brothers. And I also have some, another thing that when it gets here, we'll talk about it. And I hope that it's a good fit for our farm. But this is just a few of the things, and you can see that we've got tomatoes here, and I have some, of course we've got already some of our tomatoes put in the ground, but it's been rainy and nasty, and we've not been able to get out there, and it's raining again today. It's supposed to be sunny and pretty tomorrow, cool. I think it's supposed to be 59 degrees, so it'll be nice and cool working out there, but I don't know if we'll be able to get out there. It just depends on how soggy it really is. But we might get out there and it not be too bad. So I do have tomatoes to put out there. I also have some tomatoes. Howie and I have about 28 mineral tubs that we plant different things in. Some things so that we could plant them there and they wouldn't take up space in the garden, and they'd be close here to the house, like a little kitchen garden. Some leaf lettuce and some radishes. Radishes you already know Howie didn't like, but we always planted radishes up by the house for me to get. And then I always like to play around with different types of tomatoes just to see, kind of like my own little trial garden. And so I've got some of those tomatoes here. I have the old German tomato, and I've got some different ones, and got some peppers that I want to try that I've never tried before. So I want to put the ones that we know are good, that go good here in our gardens, our bell peppers and our jalapeno peppers, our hot peppers that we use, and our homemade rotel, and our pepper juice. We use a lot of pepper juice here. I don't know if you use it where you're at, but we use a lot of pepper juice here, and we put it on our beans, and we put it on our black-eyed peas, and whatever else we want pepper juice on, we use it there, and we make it homemade. And so we've got peppers for that. Of course, I have several trays of marigolds that are a nod to my sweet Howie. They're waiting to go in. I've got some planted, but I have moss and peppers and all kinds of flowers and beautiful things. I've got Howie's favorite Rutgers tomatoes here ready to go in the ground. And I've got yarrow, and I've got calendula and chamomile, and all the things that are good stuff for us waiting to go in the ground. And so anyway, I thought I'd just show you this before we went on to the next project, or the next thing to show you on this video. I thought we might have a little walk around. Everybody's doing their garden tours, and I can't get in the garden, but I can show you some of my other stuff. So come along and we'll see what else we can get into. Here's one of our big projects that we have still to do. The Josie Ferguson is down for the count. We had to take parts to Tulsa to have them rebuilt. The parts are done. We had to, the whole front end, the mechanic came out, the tractor mechanic came out, and he took the whole front end off of this tractor to get to that part. I think you can see it probably there with that blue tarp. Anyway, he had to take the whole front end off to get to the part, and while he was at it, of course, he found other things that needed to be have a tune-up. And so while it was all set, all taken apart, we just had all of those parts and decided to go ahead and have them all done. And so the mechanic hasn't come back yet to get this fixed, so we're doing a lot of things. That's why you saw me working with my wheelbarrow the other day, and it didn't hurt me a bit. I needed the exercise, and I needed the something to keep my brain engaged, and it sure did. I woke up the next day just as sore as all get out. But the old Josie Ferguson here has got to get its tune-up, get ready to go, so we can do a lot of stuff this summer. We have projects galore here on the farm, and we need the old girl to run, and so that's one of the next things that we're looking forward to getting fixed. Now, I can't drive her, but I'm gonna try my best to learn how, and the boys will have lots of projects that we need to do, moving things from here to there. Y'all know how it is on your farm with your tractor. That's a pretty big investment, and it's important to have it working and working right. And so we're looking forward to getting her running, and we'll get some big projects done. In the meantime, we've got wheelbarrows and shovels and scoops and all kinds of things, and these two things right here that we can use. So let's go on and find something else. Right here, guys, what you're looking at is one of Howie's projects that he was working on when he got sick, and this was going to be an apartment for Blade, for him to stay in and to get to savings, building his savings account so he could do what he really wanted to one day. And he and Cheyenne had decided to continue on with that, and they're going to come out and make it a little bit bigger, like a first house for them, and it'll always be able to be used on the homestead even when the kids decide to do something else. So this is one of many things that we're working on, and always lots of work to do. But I'm thankful that Howie got to start it, because that'll be a memory for us that this is something that he wanted to gift to Blade, and it's not done, but it will be. Okay, everybody, I've started supper, and they've all come in. They're hungry and ready to eat. I've got the sausage going, and I've made the first batch of pancakes, and now I'm going to show you the second batch. Now, I normally have my own pancake batter that I mix up, but I thought tonight we'd try something that people have used for a long time, but I thought I had it in my freezer in my storage supplies that I keep for occasions like this when we're in a hurry or the kids need to fix something. And it would also make something good for if you had to pass it on to somebody else for them to use, like in a grocery box or something for somebody that was maybe sick or out of a job, and this would be something. Now, these cost $1 a piece. These are a particular brand, but you can use any brand of these little packets. And tonight I made strawberry cheesecake, and I'm getting ready to make the wild berry, and they make up little pancakes. I did get 4 out of a package, so one package isn't going to feed your entire family, but a couple of packages will feed, and they're $1 a piece. Anywhere I've seen them, they're $1. Grocery store, Walmart, Dollar Tree, anywhere, $1. They're in these nice little packages, and what I normally do is I stick them in the freezer, and I let them hang out there for a while. But you can also, after they've been in the freezer for a while, to guarantee that there's no kind of bug issues, then you can open them and you can put them in your in a Mylar bag or a food saver bag and store them up. Now, some people think that this bag is good enough, but I like a little bit extra coverage. Or you can put them in a canning jar with the and use the food saver attachment that I've showed you guys once before. A canning jar or a saved jar that will fit down in one of those canisters that I showed you. So tonight I'm going to show you just how easy it is to mix this up, and then we'll cook. I'll cook them up, and we will show you what we're going to have for supper. So all I do is I pour the mix into a bowl. That's one package, and you're going to need 2/3 of a cup of milk, and you just pour that right in there. And you're going to need 1 egg. Of course, this is some of our little farm fresh eggs, and so when you get it all mixed up, the batter is really yellow. And we're going to get those mixed together. Now on this batch, Blade loves blueberries, so we're going to add some blueberries to this batch. The other packet was strawberry cheesecake and I didn't add anything to that because I am not a big fan of, I love strawberries, but I don't like chunky strawberry jam or anything that's in ice cream, like ice cream topping. I don't enjoy the chunks that way. Fresh strawberries, yes, but other than that, I like jelly instead of jam, so I didn't add any strawberries to that. So you can see that this is a pretty loose batter. It changes this from that muffin mix. It's pretty thick when it's a muffin mix, but we've added extra milk and we've added an egg to it. And so it's ready to go, and it has some berries in it. And I'm just going to go ahead and add just a few more not blackberries, blueberries to the mix. I'm just going to dump them in there and get it all mixed up, and then I'll get these blueberries ready and we'll be able to have them for supper. Now, like I said, these packages are $1 a piece, so you're looking at $2 for these pancakes. I know that you can make your own muffin mix for cheaper. Long day, guys. Pancake mix for less than that, but we're going to go ahead and cook these pancakes up, fry them up, and I use very little oil in the pan, if any at all. And we'll get about 4 pancakes, pretty good sized pancakes, and I'll show them to you when we get done. Okay guys, I got the pancakes made. Here they are, strawberry cheesecake and the wild berry with extra blueberries added to it. Once again, I use these packages, $1 a piece. You know, your homemade is going to make more, but if this is what you've got and you're in a pinch, you can make good pancakes for your kiddos, or even for yourself and your husband, or husbands for your wives. And we've got all this sausage and pancakes, and we're ready. We're actually going to have it for supper and get our bellies warmed up and go from there. Okay guys, this is Josie with Cedar Creek Homestead. I love y'all, and until next time, we're gone.